It's Tuesday, January 15th, 2013, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Sony Xperia Z and ZL that were unveiled at CES this year. While at CES this year, Jimmy McGee and I had the opportunity to go to the Sony press event to see the Sony Xperia Z, or Z, and ZL, or again ZL, unveiled to the public. And fortunately, after the fact, we had a chance to get our hands on with the Z, and then we had an engineer there with us, or a salesperson, honestly his name tag didn't say, but his name was Freddie, who walked us through some of the specs and device settings and everything for the ZL. So while I show you the video of me looking at the Z, I'm going to go ahead and read off some of the specifications, which actually are kind of common between the two devices, and then we'll show you the video of the ZL and wrap things up. Okay, so what you're seeing here is the Sony Xperia Z. This is a 5-inch 1920 by 1080p display. It has the Sony Mobile Bravia Engine 2 on it, which is supposed to add to video playback and all of those fun sorts of video type things that Sony is well known for. It's running a 1.5 GHz Qualcomm S4 Pro quad-core processor, specifically the APQ 8064 plus MDM 9215M. Not going to even pretend to know what those things mean. It's supposed to be blazing fast, and in my experience with it, as you can see from the video, definitely very snappy. Comes built in with 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of built-in flash memory with up to 32 gigs of micro SD storage. Surprisingly, it actually comes running Android version 4.1.2. I was expecting to see a lot of devices running 4.2.1, and this was yet another one that was not on the latest greatest version of Jelly Bean. However, with Sony's the recent experiences in the developer community, we might be seeing it hit the AOSP as well. In talking to Freddie from Sony, he made it sound like a lot of the newer devices might end up hitting the AOSP tree as well, or at least having something, some form or fashion of open source development. Moving right along, we had a camera on the back of the device that takes 13.1 megapixel stills with autofocus. It also does HDR images and video using the built-in camera app. HDR video, definitely a new and innovative thing I haven't seen a whole lot of yet. The front-facing camera is 2.2 megapixels and capable of 1080p video as well. And the key feature, the key difference between this and the ZL, which you'll see here in a few minutes with the other video from Freddie, is that this one is water resistant and dust resistant. So while you're not going to be able to take it underwater or anything, if you accidentally pour a cup of water over on it, it's not going to just spark up and explode on you. You will instead be greeted with the same device continuing to work. Now, in looking at the shape of the device, the form factor and everything, very sleek lines, very beautiful. Even though I was holding the purple one, and I'm not a huge fan of purple, very sparkly, very nice, very clean lines, except for the buttons. And that was a little bit odd for me. Right in the right-hand side of the device, in the very middle, you have that big, sticking out power button. The one thing good about that is you can't miss it. The bad thing about that is you won't miss it, meaning if you pick it up, you're going to probably catch your finger on it. And it was a very nice piece of metal, meaning you're probably going to scratch your finger on it. Don't know if it'll be that big of a deal, but it was a very solid button, so that's a good thing and a bad thing. It sort of depends on how you want to take that. The volume rockers, there wasn't really a noticeable difference between the buttons. They're just up and down. They're placed in different places on the Xperia Z and the ZL. As you can see from the video, the Z has them down low. We'll see in a minute the ZL has them up high because there's some other buttons and things placed on the device. We'll go into that in just a minute as well. But anyway, overall, first impressions of the Xperia Z, very good. Not a huge fan of the purple one, obviously. However, the shape of the device, the sleek nature of the device, the very fast performance of the device, huge fan of all of that. But now, let's kick it on over to Freddie from Sony to take a look at the Xperia ZL.
So yeah, this is the Xperia ZL, and this is the variant of the Z. The big difference, really minor, you're not going to lose anything as far as spec-wise, internal memory or anything like that. What the difference is going to be the chassis or the body of it. It's not dual tempered glass. This one's going to have a rubber textured backing with the curvature on the back versus the flat glass panel like the Z. It is not water resistant or dust resistant. It is actually more compact than the Z, so at 75% of the front is screen. So that makes it more compact to hold in the hand for a 5. So it's basically the most compact 5-inch device out right now. Like I said, everything else is the same. You do have a dedicated camera key on this one, which you don't have on the Z due to the water resistance and dust resistant. You do have the IR blaster. You can't really see it on the black, but it is there. You do have a built-in remote application built in here. So you have a built-in remote control application. It will ask you to start setting up your TVs, and you can have a remote control here. So once that's set up, you can start controlling your TVs. This one also has the 16 gig internal, expandable up to 32 gig micro SD. It is a tempered front panel glass. So that's really the biggest differences between that and the ZL. You're not losing, like I said, any of the specifications. Identical pretty much as far as display and everything else. Just more compact design.
And actually, after shooting this video with Freddie, he did some quick burst mode shots with the camera on it, and it was extremely fast. And then he went into the gallery app and started messing around, and I noticed something about the gallery app that was very unique. Go ahead and take a look.
So this is the burst folder that we shot all the burst modes in, and it separated it in an album. So now I can see all the pictures going through here, but if I want to expand that, I can actually just expand that and take a bigger close. I can actually go to one picture and go up and decide which one I like, which one I don't want to delete.
If you want to get rid of any of them, what do you have to do?
If I want to get rid of this one, I just hold that one there, and I just delete that one.
Okay.
Don't want to do that? Okay. And then I've got to go back down here. And that works in any of the any of the folders. So if I go back over here and just go into my regular all my pictures, I can do that by that.
Nice.
So that's one of the media apps from Sony that they implemented in the phone.
Yeah, Sony definitely developed some very interesting multimedia applications, and that's another one of them. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this first look at the Sony Xperia Z and ZL. Hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on one of these devices eventually to take a look at it myself, but unfortunately it looks like it may not be coming to Verizon, at least not in the foreseeable future, because as far as LTE bands go, it does not appear to be compatible with Verizon's LTE bands, so maybe I'll end up with my hands on an AT&T or T-Mobile one. Maybe one of our other developers who is much more qualified at developing will get their hands on it as well. That would probably be preferable. But anyway, that's going to be about all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, make sure to hit the like button down below, and as always, subscribe if you have not already. We do always appreciate new subscriptions. But that's about all from me for today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for another CES-related video.